Oh, hello. Let's see. AM Bergeron, how's it going? Kenny Fanboy. Yeah, it was a little late. I had to stop at the store, and then when I got home, I realized I also had to do the Eden Zero chapter review. I figured I could at least get the recording set up, and then it's rendering right now, and then I'll upload it after the stream. I've been sick for the past week. Are you doing good? Is it just a cold? You got the COVID, man. You got the Rona. Did the moon chick nuke someone? Yes. She has been completely running numbers on people. What's up, Jared Punch? How are you doing? Hey, live stream. I'm in need of relax. We'll go and sit down, and hopefully we can have some nice conversations about what we've got going on, because that's actually a really solid week. I was so worried, actually. Let me mention. I was so worried when the chapter was about to come out, and if it was going to be a transitionary chapter, because like, usually between arcs, there's like the fun kind of like silly stuff, like when we got the fairy nail content, and like even before the Ellen tier stuff, we got like the girls getting drunk and causing shenanigans and stuff. We had a little bit in Edalus. Edalus, I guess, was way more towards like the actual plot, but still, I was so worried we were gonna skip over this. This is what I wanted to see so bad, was Celine just completely like showing that she is in charge. Like, these guys aren't fighting Celine. Like a serious Celine, yeah, good luck. They're just gonna be standing there. There's nothing they can do. This better be a 3-hour stream since you did none last week. I don't know about that. What I'll probably just try and do is throw in an extra stream. Maybe Friday I might just do a bonus stream, and we'll just kind of like chit chat. Maybe I'll play a game, because I want to do that Half-Life playthrough. I usually play through Half-Life at least like once a year or so, and then I streamed the last one. I don't know if it was the last time I played I streamed, but I streamed through Black Mesa when it fully came out, and then I had so much fun with that. I love that game, so I was stoked for that, and I'll probably do it again. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit shorter hopefully this time, because last time I was fresh into the remake, and I really wanted to see what they had to offer. But this time, I'm going to be trying to power through that game, trying to just get through everything I can and move towards the finish line before getting to the next one. Because it'll be weird going from Black Mesa to Opposing Force for the people who have played it, and sending Opposing Forces from like 2000. But still, either way, I'm going to be super hyped because I love that game. What's up, Guild Zero? How you doing today? I should really get back to reading 100 Years Quest. I'm busy with school and games. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're gonna have a lot all stocked up to read. I'm glad you got some stuff for it. Did you read chapter 326 of My Hero Finally Staying All My Meat? Yeah, I want to reread it actually, though. Like, I read a little bit of it. I didn't read a ton of the chapter itself. I like skimmed it because I was busy and I didn't, I wasn't as like, I'm not a big My Hero guy, so I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like, I wanted to see what's going on, but I wasn't as probably hyped up as I think some people were for the chapter. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's get to what's going on, get to some of the general content, and see like what exactly Horikoshi has planned. But I want to actually like sit down at some point and read the chapter and see like the meat of it and what exactly he's doing with All Might and Stain. Like the Stain stuff is pretty interesting. The fact he's using Stain again is pretty hype. I definitely wanted to see more of that guy just because he was cool. It was always really weird that there wasn't a time where he seemed like he was actually coming back outside of just like fans being hyped for the character because he's pretty cool. So actually getting him back, like being around, being present in the arc, was pretty interesting by itself. I also am still slightly salty about him killing off that one girl, the gun chick, the sniper. She was really cool. What's up, Noah? How are you doing today? I'm glad that Creep Creed got shot. He had no right to. I don't know about that one. I mean, I don't really mind him dying. Like, I had no investment in Creed. It was more of this like, oh, that sucks. Nocta's voiced by Max Middleton in the dub. He voices Saitama and Ryuji from Persona 5. Oh, really? Saitama's voice actor? That's a weird switch. Also, I'm glad Horikoshi is doing better. Yeah, me too. The scenery, art of Chapter 32 of Fortnite's Apocalypse was so nice. Or was so good. Yeah, it was really good. I actually need to read the translations of the chapter again before I do my review. We're finally getting the Dark Shiki after this chapter. It's going to depend. I really want to know what Mishima... Not just, like, how he's going to end the fight, but, like, what is Shiki going to be like post-fight? It's like, because if Shiki kills Shura, then how is Shiki's, like, following, like, demeanor going to be? Play one Justice? I don't know about that one. Something because me and Rex go way back. Space Mage is a space. Don't think I haven't forgotten about that slander you did Celine after it seemed like Celine lost when she didn't. Grateful comment. You put Ryzen and S tier in your Dragon Slayer tier list. You got one shot. I mean, he is technically an S tier. Like, he's above Suzaku. He is canonically above Suzaku. Just because he got demolished doesn't change his placing. Like, God Serena is still Spriggan tier. That doesn't change any form of fact just because he got demolished. If somebody, like, big ends up losing just to somebody way bigger than them, that doesn't do anything to their hype. They have to lose to somebody who they should be able to defeat. Like, if Georg lost to Kyria, I'd be like, damn, I mean, I guess he was as strong as I thought he was. But losing to Celine is not like, oh man, hype gone. It's like, no, he lost to Celine, like one of the strongest people known in the whole series, not just in current setup, but in history. The only person that we have really factually above Celine is Acnologia. And, I mean, you could look at Fairyheart Zeref, but I think Fairyheart Zeref would be more in, like, total power. Because, like, logically, he couldn't affect her with his magic, I would assume. But, I mean, like, he still do some crazy hack stuff. Either way, that's, like, two characters, if you really want to look at it like that. Celine is just extremely powerful. So, her beating Georg is just, like, so? So what for Georg? It doesn't make him weaker. He lost to somebody way stronger than him. I'm like 98 done with my Storm Wizard. Oh, you talking about Wizard 101? Have I played Portal 2? I've played Portal. I haven't played in a long time, though. I actually wanted to get Portal 2 because I want to play it. I want to replay it. Because that's the one that has full co-op, right? I thought Munch was really good, so they actually put the perfect figure to get him out of his funk. Well, that's good. Your ex-boy know that Mirror Jane, Urza Laxus, and Natsu Gillarts all clap Gray. Mirror Jane does not clap Gray. Mirror Jane can't do anything to Gray at all. And Urza, honestly, I feel like Urza is a debatable one at this point. Like, Gray actually has really good feats, and he's got really strong capabilities with his magic. The fact that he can freeze other elements makes him, like, a legitimate threat to a lot of people. I don't think he can beat Gildarts. I mean, Gildarts can just counter that with, like, breaking of his magic. There's nothing to really freeze in Gildarts' magic. Plus, Gildart physically outclasses Gray by a lot. But other than that, like, yeah, Natsu, Laxus. Like, Laxus is, like, he can get his lightning frozen, assuming Gray should be able to freeze it. If he can freeze wind and fire, he should be able to freeze lightning. But it wouldn't change the fact that he should outclass Gray in practically everything, regardless. Just being the general much more powerful character. Like, Gray would need to have a really considerable feat and upgrade in order for it to be more of a debate between the two of them. Whereas, like, Mirror Jane, no. Like, Gray craps Mirror Jane, that's not a fight whatsoever. Marina Zero right now, no. Farina Best Girl, that's not a character. I mean, that girl literally has 2 panels that she's actually talked. Augie and Masked Man put Natsu in D tier. I don't know who Masked Man or Augie are. Who's that? But definitely L to them. Imagine if Tug's backstory was a hint of Hawk's future. I hope Hawk's future is literally just in the dirt, in the mud. Put him in the mud, leave him. Spoilers? Spoilers for what? Why is everyone crying over Creed? I don't know. I think Taya will learn about the first head of the Yozakura family from Kawashita. Maybe where the powers come from. Well, Zeref doesn't erase time limits, he resets them. And Zeref, and he can only reset it to the extent of when he was born, which a little over 400 years, Celine was already alive. So if he resets it 400 years, Celine is just back to where she was 400 years ago. And that's not, like, it's a broken ability, but it's not this, like, Fairyheart Zeref's, like, real big value is the fact he's unkillable. And he can pull magic and powers out of people. But Celine, none of that would really matter. It would just be the same as, like, if you try to fight Acnologia. Obviously, Acnologia would have the way more ability advantage, but not the same thing as, but Celine would still have a strong advantage of just being a dragon. Dragons in Fairy Tail being, pretty much immune to magic. He's voiced by Bryce Papenbrook. That's the dude who does Deku, right? Or is that the dude who does Bakugo? I don't know. Oh, he does Meliodas. Also, Gun Girl, Lady Nagant, yeah, is her name. I'm sad that she got killed off. I think Celine could potentially be stronger than Alder on Mercifobia. I don't think she'll be stronger. I think that she's just smarter because the dragon gods should all be equal. That's part of the whole problem that Selene and them were having is like they can't fight each other because say you have two of the dragon gods they fight, one of them manages to beat the other one, then all it would take is another dragon god to swoop in and crush whichever one is weakened because there's no way any of them could fight one-on-one and get out of there unscathed. They're all equal. So if a character beats another one, it's going to be like certain specific variables in their fight, like specific powers and abilities, how smart and intelligent they are, their battle tact. It would be way more. It would be way more of like a very specific set of things to for one to win, and at that point, then another one can just swoop in and swat one down. Fairy Heart Zeref was said to not even be strong enough to fight regular Acnologia is equal to Selene. Oh, like part of it is the fact that Acnologia could just eat all of Zeref's attacks. Any idea the true dragons or Selene mentioning this chapter? I think she was mentioning just dragons fighting each other in general. And just talking about like dragons going to war with each other and battling and like dragons constantly clashing and being a problem. Is she going to be known as Veracion States Galactica? That'd be really cool actually. If they kill Narrow off and make Shiki one of the Galactica, that'd be great. I never even thought about that. That'd be really cool. There are pretty good downloadable maps for Portal 2. Oh, good. I'm going to probably get Portal 2 soon then. How much stronger to actually get after eating through the caverns of time? I mean, it's really hard to even grasp the concept of that. Because Zeref needed infinite magic just to control the space between time. And out of everything that they brought up in the series, the space between time was beyond human comprehension. It was beyond what a human could really reasonably understand. Because it wasn't like, oh, we created this pocket dimension. It was because time travel created so much strain on time that it ripped a hole in the universe. That there was just this void space. This little, like, was it like a tangerine-sized pocket of nothing? And Acnologia got sucked into nothing, ate it, and then broke back out. Like, he was just unabsurdly strong. And he even mentions that he's just going to continuously keep rising in strength until he broke past the limitations of time and space. Any idea? Wait, I read this one. I feel like Zeref had limitless magic, but that doesn't automatically make him the strongest, I think. I mean, you can be the strongest in something, but if characters aren't affected by whatever your power source is, then it's like, well, what do you really do? Urza 100% claps Gray? I wouldn't say she 100% claps Gray. Gray versus Urza, I definitely would lean more towards Urza right now, because Urza has just a bigger arsenal, and Gray hasn't gotten anything really fancy since the time skip. Like, if it was pre 100 Years Quest, I would say, or I'd probably say Urza, because it's like, Gray, actually, it would really depend on Gray's state, because Gray, when he fought E&D, was stronger than Urza. Like, that was much stronger than Urza. But since 100 Years Quest, we've seen Urza fight Laxus, and obviously have, like, her Fire Knight swords. She's got her whole Dragon Slaying sword. She's got more to utilize, and more that has advanced her power-wise in 100 Years Quest, whereas Gray's gotten more character-wise in 100 Years Quest. And the only thing he's really gotten in terms of his moveset is the fact that he can do, like, large-scale dynamic ice make instead of just doing static. Yeah, but Gray does stop Mirror Jane. That's not a fight. That's not even close. What's up there, Gino James? How you doing, man? Besides Hawks getting his ass kicked, what are you looking forward to animated in Season 6 of My Hero? Actually, I really want to see what they do with Deku's Rage form, because that one was... I wish it was longer. I was really bummed out the fact it was only, like, a page, whereas, like, I feel like the main character's first power-up should be way more of a spectacle. Like, look at first time Natsu goes Dragon Force, first time Shiki goes into Overdrive, first time Asta achieves Black Form, first time Luffy uses second gear, first time Goku goes Super Saiyan, first time Naruto uses Sage Mode. Any of those times where a character gets a power-up, like a new form, especially their first form. Well, actually, let me correct that a little bit, because Deku did get a new form set up when his fight with Overhaul. I meant to say Rage form, so I gotta go to Rage form now. Look at any of Naruto's Rage form, look at E&D Mernatsu, you look at, say, like, any of the times Naruto lost his shit, you look at, I guess I can look at Hollow Ichigo, anything like that, then I want for Deku, but Deku didn't really have much of that. He mostly just bit Shigaraki and then fell over. Eden Zero, the sister is the best. My favorite girl in Eden Zero, I mean, it's from Mora. Like, I didn't even thought about it for a second. I'm like, wait, is this Mora? It's not even close. Been enjoying the Eden Zero anime here. I actually want to watch it soon. I'm waiting for it to fully finish, and then I'm going to watch it all, because my girlfriend hasn't watched a lot of anime, so we're going to watch Eden Zero. Urza versus Gray is debatable. Yes, it's very debatable. It's a very debatable match right now. People just underselling Gray for some reason. Base Gray should scale over Urza, but Devil Star Gray is on another level. Like, Gray has more raw scale feats, but Urza has a bigger utility. She's got way more combat experience, and she's got she's got newer, fresher feats. Whereas Gray doesn't got anything comparable that really so far, other than his like new ice make. Oh, Kamano, thank you for the $100 super chat, my man. Let's see, Ryrax, everything okay? You haven't been as active online. Oh, I've just been busy. I've been busy with work. I've been doing stuff around my house, and my girlfriend was moving in, so I've been a little preoccupied. But everything should be good now. Like, I meant to stream on Saturday, but I had stuff I ended up planning that kind of overlapped with it. That's why I want to do a bonus stream. I think I'm going to stream on Friday to make up for it. I feel bad when I miss streams, because like I enjoy the active and like in real-time conversation between myself and the chat, because then I can actually talk to people where it's not like I don't really like comments on videos as much, because it's like YouTube's comment setup. I'll say something, like if somebody says something, I might not notice it for like a day or two. Oh, I reply. How do I know if they're going to even reply? It's not like YouTube gives that good of a notifications like, oh, this person sent you this, like read the thread. YouTube's comment and notification systems is really annoying, so it's hard for me to really kind of like stick on it. Let me get to more of this stuff. So I'm just making sure you're okay. Also, had a chance to read those series. I recommend it. If so, I've enjoyed them. I've just been reading a little bit more of that Revenge series. I haven't gotten to the other one yet. I do like the Revenge one. There's something about those ones where it's cool to see the like more kind of like core scum dudes just get a bad day, get the horrible treatment. I read a couple Revenge series. So I understand the premise. The thing, though, about these series that I do enjoy is, like, the authors never make the good guy. Like, the main characters seem like the good guy. They're, like, almost always, no, I've been pushed too far. This is it. Time to pretty much put my hands in the mud to drag some people down. And they usually stick with it. Like, the main dude, he's dedicated. He's ready to collect some skulls and some spines. But yeah, thank you very much, Kamano, for the $100 super chat. Always appreciated, man. Where was I? What was I even talking about? Or is it definitely stops? No, she doesn't. Spoilers for Eden Zero. How are you this far behind Eden Zero? I do active Eden Zero stuff on my channel. Gray can kite Urza. That's actually true. But, like, Gray's not known for kiting. Gray can do, like, CC stuff, but Gray's not a kiting character. Gray is a up close to mid range for the most part fighter. I still wish Gray would do more archery. Like, archery Gray is the best Gray. I wish Gray would focus way more on that. Readers, please, if Hades used Grimoire Heart on Makarov and Mavis, would it work with wait, what? Grimoire Heart isn't a spell. On Makarov and Heart, would it work, or would his heart Oh, you mean Grimoire Law. Would his heart deep down still see them as friends and make it fail like Laxus used Freyla? I don't think it would. I don't think it would fail on Makarov, but I do think it would fail on Mavis. I don't think that he would be able to turn on Mavis easily. I was like Mavis, Yuri, and Warred were way too core to like his whole upbringing and obviously being there when they trained. Like I just don't really see him. Like, just, like, on site being like, oh, yeah, I genuinely think she's gonna be. I think Makarov, yes, because he intended to go to war with Fairy Tail for a while, and he's the one that left Makarov as Guildmaster, so he's gonna know that he's gonna have to fight him at some point. I see new Dragon Design. No, we saw Celine's design a while ago. You know how much stronger Natsu had become? We don't know, like... No, we do have an idea of Natsu, because Natsu fought Alderon. Urza in the middle of their punches. Urza took more damage from the 2 regular attacks that Natsu and Gray took from all the attacks the others threw at them. You go look at that. Urza suffered more damage than Natsu and Gray took in total from one attack. That wasn't even like a technique. It was just a regular attack. The gun is actually confirmed to be dead. Dude, she exploded. She didn't just explode. She had an internal explosion. So that affected her organs. Like, she had smoke coming out of her mouth. Her intestines had to be burnt. Astrid Trogo used her disappearing ability twice. First when she disguises Cammy, and second time in fighting against Curious. You don't notice until it's pointed out. I didn't even notice that. Like, I didn't even know that she turned invisible until recently. This was like 2 weeks ago that somebody brought this up to me, and I'm like, for real? Reading Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is awesome. Definitely read Chainsaw Man. So yeah, canonically and widely used ability of her. I mean, if it's canon and it's got more than one instance, then yeah. It should be. I mean, like, if it's canon has an instance, then it's good. It's like how King in Seven Deadly Sins has the whole disaster ability that he never uses. It's like, I mean, he still has it. He's pretty much never is going to pull it out in a fight, but he still has it. I also read 4 depressing manga back to back. Oh man, why did you do that? Natsu Dragon Force should be the strongest fairy. Yes. Gildarts is stronger than Natsu in general. But Natsu Dragon Force is stronger than Gildarts. We are going to get to see Gildarts soon. Not soon. In 100 Years Quest, Mishima did confirm that Sabretooth and Gildarts would be in 100 Years Quest, which is kind of funny because my theory on how Gildarts would show up was through Sabretooth, so maybe that's still a possibility. Maybe Rick would clap Zareth while Morty would eat muffins. Can he do stuff with Time Stop? I don't really know. Could he do anything to actually kill Zareth? But the thing is, like, Rick has Toon Force. I mean, like, Rick and Morty is like a sillier cartoon, so it's like, he's like adult Bugs Bunny. He can just do stuff. He'll just do it. He'll just invent something off screen or just do something that he doesn't have to really explain, and he'll just say he did it. You think other Black Dragon Slayer Knights will go against Selene? No, they can't. What are they going to do? You just had Suzaku plus Scullion plus Madmo plus Kyria, and it's like they just know that there's nothing they can do to Selene. Like a serious Selene, she will run through them. She just one-shot their guildmaster and said, well, I'm the boss now, and they're complying because they know it's either that or death. What do you think of Batman's reasoning for not killing people applied to My Hero? See, the thing about Batman is I understand if... The only thing I'll really say, if you read Injustice and you see how that went, that's kind of like the idea that Batman has about killing. It's like when you kill somebody and you have a reason to do it, the only thing there that it kind of differentiates you between you and the killer is the reason why you're doing it, and like that reason can just keep getting moved in different goalposts until you're just killing people. How do you think Dragon Force Natsu going to full power Selene? Oh, Natsu, I don't think Natsu would win. Not at all. I do not think Natsu one-on-one could fight any of the Dragon Gods at all. Because, like, when he fought Alderaan was weakened. If Natsu didn't make it in time before Alderaan got his God Seeds back, Natsu would have lost, and he'd be dead. Langris having Monozone is a cheat. Too many characters have it. Not really. Monozone isn't even that common. It's just that we got a good chunk of characters with Monozone at one point. Like, during the Elf arc, we got, obviously, Julius, Marileona. Yami near the end. But, I mean, for the most part, we don't actually have a lot of characters with it. When you think about, like, how many characters there are, how many chapters we're at, and, like, the level of the characters that all have achieved it, there's not that much. Because, like, people like Julius, you knew he was going to have Monozone. There was no way that if Marileona had it, that Julius wasn't. Like, Julius is the whole super prodigy. So, like, Julius having it just made complete sense. Marileona, like, anything Marileona, I would imagine skill-wise, Julius would have. And then, like, Yami's Yami. Yami, like, his whole thing is, like, senses and reactions and just general combat. So Yami being able to advance it, especially after he unlocked a degree of it during the Elf arc, made sense. Langris, though, is like, Spatial Mage's learning Monozone is kind of, like, weird to me. Not from the fact that he can do it, but it's like, shouldn't it work differently? because the whole idea is you're controlling the mana in a space, but if you're a spatial mage, shouldn't you be more adept to, like, the idea of controlling things in a space? I don't really know. I'm probably thinking it more of, like, Minerva, like how Minerva's territory works, or like Law, where it's like everything in your zone is under your control to a degree, whereas, like, Langris is really just attacking stuff with spatial bubbles. I don't think it's a cheap way. It's more of like it's a way, obviously, like him growing, because like we know where his character already was even back before the time skip. So just giving him this as like an upgrade is fine, but it's not like it really shifted the battle too much. Like, is the big factor, but it looks like obviously Zenon is getting a buff, so I don't really know what you expect Langris to do. I wish figure out Xerath got more screen time and more feats. I don't think he needed more feats. I definitely think he needed more screen time. Like, what I would have wanted more from Xerath, like, Fairyheart Xerath, but Xerath in general, is kind of like what they did with August in the anime, where there's, like, in his fight, they just gave him a couple random spells, like, additional spells. Like, he's like, oh, he just had a couple extra moves to throw around. He doesn't need to have some long description, says what it is, very, like, regular name, and then you see the effect. I would have loved to have a couple of those. The thing about Xerath that we do have is he specifically mastered all the black magic. Like, it's canon in there that Xerath mastered black magic. So any black magic in the series, Xerath should also know. So it's just one of those things you can apply any of that to him, just as like a little, like a cheat way of giving him stuff that he has never shown on screen, but we know canonically he has. I know I'm chapter late, but can you glorify the moment between Urza and Jalal in chapter 90? Made me so happy. I mean, that was just really nice. I can't wait to see Jalal join the guild. I've been needing that dude around more, and him and Lax is clashing as well. I need some more of that. So many pussy main character. Are there really any bad main characters right now? I can't think of any. Even if Namek Saga Frieza invaded the Fairy Tail world, the Fairy Tail world's only hope is to have Nineheart create a story of Zoldio from Merity and have Zoldio weaken Frieza. There's a lot of hacks that can deal with Frieza, because the thing about Dragon Ball characters is they're, for the most part, just raw power. Like, what would happen if Frieza ran, like, if they just had Merity use Sense Link to Frieza and then killed herself. Bam, Frieza dies. Because the way that McGilty Sense works and the whole Sense Link, it's going to your brain. So it's dealing direct application to your senses. So if your brain thinks it's dying, it's going to start shutting down. Like, there's a weird aspect of that where it's like, you could think you're hurting somewhere and your brain will just cause pain because it's being tricked into doing the process that it does to say, like, causes pain. Whatever part of your brain that does all of that is, like, going off from, essentially being tricked. So something like McGilty Sense, because it's dealing direct damage to your senses, it's not actually dealing damage, it's applying pain to brain. So something like telling your brain, hey, you're dead. It's just going to be like, okay, turns off. It's a really weird hacks, and it's definitely one of the ones that's always stood out the most to me, because it's one that doesn't have anything to do with stats. It would have entirely to do with your senses and your mind. I think Dragon Force Natsu loses to full power sync. Yes, he does. I'm not a Gray wanker. It's just like Gray has actually got a lot of good feats. The idea that Gray would get no-diffed by Urza is laughable, and it's something that I don't think anybody who actually understands, like, where the characters stand at in the series could actually say, while being serious, like, Gray's not weak. The whole idea of that, again, is comedic. Like, especially when you saw, like, Gray literally this arc go against Kakune, the strongest out of the Moonlight Beauty Gods. It's very clear that he fought somebody way more powerful than Urza did. Urza fought Yoko. Yoko's, like, big trump card was get a bunch of, swords and arms. Granted, super fast, super strong physical attacks, good. Not so good against Urza. Like, she should have stuck to more tricky fighting. I don't think she would have, like, she really knew who she was fighting, though. So it's one of those things where it's like, you can't really put that against her. Rowan Dobby out rented the freaking election. Yeah, nobody cared about what was going on there. It was just all just a big mess. Kenmano steals the show. Kenmano always goes crazy. Gray doesn't have doesn't have the feats even. Gray has scaling, and he's got a generally great arsenal of what his magic can do. And his whole giant ice sculptures are so good. Like, that's such a good addition to his powers. The fact he can create essentially a large scale ice devil army, like, is so powerful in concept. Because, like, when you look at, like, the devil ice and, like, how durable it is, how physically strong it is, its resistance to temperatures, its ability to freeze other magics and raw elements and stuff, it's dangerous. Iron Nancy and Quano agree that Gray's a jobber team. Not really. Iron Nancy's just trolling. I told Nancy we would debate on stream Gray versus Urza, and he said no because he knows that Gray would clap. Or sorry, not Gray versus Urza. Gray versus Mirror Jane. He knows that Gray would clap Mirror Jane so fast and so easily, it's not even a fight. Anybody who tries to side with Mirror Jane would not, like, even remotely actually accept that challenge, because Mirror Jane has nothing to compete up with Gray anymore. That's just a fact. Like, any of those other fights, like, there's a sense of being debatable. Like, again, Urza versus Gray is a debatable fight because of where Gray actually is standing. Gray can compete now. Gray versus Mirror Jane is not. Urza's also very durable and good at taking hits, so is Gray. Gray is strong in his raw power, but Urza has wide arsenal. Yeah, but Gray's magic is ultimately flexible. He can make anything. He can just make shit on the fly. Urza skills above him. I mean, in raw power. But I mean, like, Gray doesn't need raw power. He can just freeze everything. He just do ice make silver and flash freeze the whole area. It's not Nagant Toga Chaco. Who do you believe is the best girl in My Hero? I like Mount Lady. Level 100 Years Quest made Urza seem more human and not overpowered. I mean, yeah, the only reason that people, like, really thought Urza was, like, unstoppable was the Grand Magic Games, where she was running numbers on people. Because you look at Tartar, look at the two arcs between them. Sirius Island, Urza versus Azuma. Urza didn't, like, just maul Azuma. Or, like, that was, such a close fight. Whereas Urza against Kyoka really came down to a couple variables. Winning the fight, but losing the war, in a sense. And again, not really the same thing. Like, with Urza in the Grand Magic Games, she had a way better showing. She had way more of a palette of things she could run over rather than, like, actually formidable foes. Whereas, like, right now, any big character, any boss character rather, is somebody that that Urza has no way of dealing with. Selene is somebody that Urza has no chance to probably ever take down by herself. I legitimately would bet money that Urza will never be strong enough to fight Selene one-on-one. I would be surprised if Mishima figures out a way to do it. I don't think he can. As the only characters I would assume, like, the only character I would assume ever to get, like, Dragon God strength that's not a Dragon God is Natsu. Alright, remember series like Raoul the hero, or redo the... Oh, I mean, redo the healer takes a little bit overboard. I don't know this one. The Slime? Nim Nim? I don't know who that is. I haven't watched the Slime anime yet. One day. Underwhelming after all the build-up that Fairy Heart was given. I wouldn't say underwhelming. It was just more of short. But you really have to... If you look at, like, what he's capable of, what he was doing, he casually created a way to reset time. Like, not time travel, time reset. Like, that by itself is insane. How is she alive? Like, she can't talk? I mean, she's a vegetable. Like, that's not even a character anymore. Might see the fourth Zograd sibling in the Spade arc? I hope so. Rick in a mini-universe and plays with time all the time. Doesn't he not time travel? But, like, can he do something while time is stopped, is what I'm asking. And if I seriously, when she literally sends you to another world mid-battle, that's, like, the thing that was, like, a huge factor in fighting Selene. And I brought that up multiple times leading up to the Suzaku fight. Is if you can't deal with Selene's portals, then what are you going to do? Because ultimately she can just leave, or she can just send you away. Hang on, 1 second. Okay, let me see what it was. I'm a bit confused. But did Akinogi sacrifice his power for the Rift of Time? No, it was that he had too much power, so it split him between body and soul. Saying that Dark Dragon Slayer Knights don't appear this chapter. I mean, that's fine. Listen, that's fine. We got something more important. We got Celine content. They're not dead. They'll be back. What's up, Gravity Dragon? How are you, man? Jerk chicken versus fried chicken? Fried chicken, 100%. Not even comparable. And also, we're 37 minutes in. Just real quick, I'll do a quick shill. If you can, if you haven't yet, thumbs up the stream. But friend that, thumbs up, like button, subscribe if you haven't. And if you feel like donating any money to me, any amount is okay. You don't want to throw $1 at me, throw $1 million at me. I'll take any. I mean, you could. What's the lowest you can send? Can you send a quarter? I actually, if they sent quarters instead of digital, they just sent me like actual quarters. I don't know what it is about coins, but I love coins. But anyway, let me get back to reading this. I got distracted. Let's just think about quarters. So I don't know what it is about coins, man. I love coins. Anyway, I gotta find where did my YouTube win? Oh, it's because I had Streamlabs on the screen. I was like, how did I delete the tab that I was looking at? What's your original thoughts on Natsu versus Zeref and how it ended? The thing is, like, in terms of the length of the fight, I wish it was flashier. I think that's really the only thing I can really say that would improve it, because one, it had really good hand-to-hand combat and it had a ton of emotional weight to it. And the emotional weight is what makes me really enjoy the fight more than anything else, because that was my two favorite characters. That was my two favorite characters fighting each other, and to understand like what was going on between the two of them, especially like when what Zeref knew like versus what Natsu knew, it was a completely different scenario than you would see from like most good guy like big final battles between the biggest bad guy. Well, I mean, the most story important bad guy and the main character. I mean, like, at the time, yeah, I love the fight. The only thing I would say that, like, they could have really done is make it flashier, give Zeref some more spells, have Natsu do a couple more attacks, maybe some big power level stuff, but, like, that's mostly it from what I can think of. Because, for the most part, like, everything else in there was present. I don't really know what the other Black Dragon Slayer Knights would have really done if they appeared in this chapter, Vince. The thing is, like, if they just rushed him in the chapter, I don't really know what Mishima would do to keep Celine from just murdering them. If they tried to fight her the same way as, like, the Kyria did. But because, at least from what it seemed, like, she only brought Kyria back out of, like, some form of appreciation almost. Or just, like, to appease Suzaku. But they'll be back. We don't need him in this chapter. It'd be too much to shove all of them on top of everything going on. Like, the only way that I think Mishima could have really done it is if it was purely focused on this, like, whole scenario. We didn't really get anything from the other, like, characters. We don't see the main cast and what they're up to and whatnot. What do you think of the animation for My Hero? It was good at the end, but they rushed too much early. I haven't watched much of the anime, actually. Dragon Darius King versus all 5 Dragon Gods. All 5 Dragon Gods? I mean, the all 5 Dragon Gods should win. I mean, you have... I mean, Alderaan by himself is hacks. Like, Celine, we don't know Celine's full moveset, and Darius does have that whole interdimensional laser, which is obviously OP, but if like, you can get the Spores or Gears' time lock on Darius, I don't see how he wins. It's just one of the things, there's so much hacks there, and we haven't even seen really what the capabilities of Vierness, or we haven't even seen Vierness. We don't know him or Igna or like Celine's full capabilities. I don't even think we saw the full capabilities of Mercephobia. I feel like he had some more skills up his sleeve that we just didn't see because he was pretty much a rampaging animal. Wendy versus Popeyes? What? Like the Sailor Man? Celine's after LA of Syria, so also, huh? Yeah, she looks like she wants to kill him. So LS better get on the run, dude. He better, like, go on vacation. Because if they go after him, like, Celine should be fine. It's the Dragon Eaters I want to see against Alistar. That's a fight I didn't think was gonna really happen. But man, I want to see what he can do so bad. Like, he's the Law Dragon. What does that even mean? Is he gonna have like some like crazy rune setup, kind of like Freed as a dragon? That actually sounds really cool. I might do a video on that, to be perfectly honest. There's a ton of stuff. I really want to get to the fan translations, because like this is one of those chapters where there's not a lot of like action, but there's a lot for me to talk about, and not from like, oh yeah, YouTube like videos. It's more of like, yeah, as a fan, there's a lot of things I want to go over. There's a lot of stuff I want to just discuss and try to figure out what exactly Mishima is doing and what exactly he's planning, where he's gonna take like certain aspects from this arc. It's all super hype right now, and I can't wait to see exactly where his whole plan setup is going. Like what's Elisaria's reaction to all this going to be? Like, where is he going to take everything? What's exactly his whole process going to be in just getting back to like, what's his process going to be essentially when they just attack? Actually, more than anything, of when they just show up at his doorstep, magic at the ready to fight this dude. Is he going to just throw hands? I feel like out of all, like, I feel like he can take most of them. Suzaku and the Black Dragon Slayer Knights are where it kind of, like, it's iffy. I feel like he's somewhere between the main trio and the Black Dragon Slayer Knights. He could easily be stronger than Suzaku. We don't really know. And the thing is, like, because Celine was, setting this all up to pretty much advance her plans, the whole bit with, the whole bit with Suzaku's hype wasn't as crazy for a character to be above him as it was at that point in time. Let me see some of these comments. Fun fact, if Zeref mastered all black magic, it means he can create his own spells, which making abilities more horrifying. Zeref did create his own spells. Like, Zeref can do all that. Zeref is a magic prodigy. Like, he was known for being, like, a genius of magic. Zeref mastered all black magic. He was a hood wizard. I don't know about that one, man. Do you think the end of the next chapter back up arrived will help Yuno and Langris against Zenon? Maybe the chapter after this. I could see the end of the next chapter, though, involving some reinforcements to show up. But I want to see more of just, like, I want to see Zenon's new form, or, like, what he's going to look like after all these bones come off, and what he's going to be capable of. Serpentera can one-shot Celine. Well, Serpentera is absurdly fast, and Serpentera is able to destroy planets like nothing. Like, it's just easy. Like, Power Rangers characters are absurdly powerful. Tanjiro is Deku, but worse. I actually don't, like, the thing about Tanjiro is, I just have, like, no real attachment for him. Like, Deku is definitely not very much, like, in close to, like, my upper main characters. He's not even in, like, my ballpark of, like, favored main characters. He's like, hey, I like you, but not too much. Tanjiro, I have no real care for Tanjiro. Like, for real. Tanjiro, to me, is just like, eh. I don't hate him, but it's like, I don't really have any form of care for him. People letting people go because why not? Did anyone do that? Shinra versus Kaido. Shinra should be faster than Kaido, and I feel like his attack should just, because he can turn into light, right? When he goes light speed, shouldn't he just pass right through him? Gamma Knight's actual electricity, Laxus and Orga are only characters Tropical R couldn't immediately kill with equal stats. No, because radiation, one, is energy. Like, it's still something that characters can deal with. It's like, you can hit someone with lightning in real life. It's going to kill them. But you have to take into account, like, what exactly, like, these things are going to do to fictional characters. Gamma Knife is still dangerous. It's a hacks. But I don't see it doing a whole lot to a lot of characters. Especially, like, when, like, a lot of the, like, any Dragon Slayer, like, they have dragon intestines. Like, all their insides are dragon modified. It's not going to affect them the same way. In fact, it didn't even affect Kaido the same way. So, like, any non-human, I don't see it really doing a whole lot against. And anybody who just has, like, a strong internal body or just, like, general high levels of ways to deal with hacks should be fine. My guilty sense is like SAO's nerve gear, I guess. Tanjiro kills a station. Deku is Tanjiro. Oh, I read this one. Tanjiro killing though, like, random demons is like, I don't really care. Kiaru immediately insta kill knots. I don't want to talk about Kiaru. Man, Nevs, what's with the new account? They Sean so gratis. What's the Tanjiro? I don't hate Tanjiro. I just don't really care. Just imagine, oh my god, guilty sense is active while you're having sex. Well, I guess I would wonder who it's linked to. It'd be really weird if you found out it's some creeper. I feel like main character were to die under his quest would be great. The character that I think has the most likely chance from the main Like the fairy tale side of things, like the guild, is guild arts. I think guild arts has the most potential to be killed off in 100 Years Quest. Because like Makarov, no, leave Makarov alone. We don't need another Makarov potential death. Let Makarov just die of old age. Guild arts, we actually don't know anything about his backstory. Think about that. Think of how far are we in, and we haven't even like seen a young guild arts. The youngest guild arts we've ever seen was when Kana first met him. That's like the youngest guild arts we've ever come across. So, like where guild arts is from, guild arts is like family, where he learns his magic, like none of that is known. So we can easily get that sometime before his death, but also like out of all of them, I feel like he has the highest level of fair death, but also impactful death. Because I don't see a lot of people really thinking somebody like Guild Arts would die, whereas like on top of that, it would do a lot for essentially the whole guild, considering Guild Arts is like their Superman. Everybody there idolizes him. Like he's somebody that a lot of them grew up knowing as like a big deal, really powerful, really nice dude. If he ends up dying, I think it'll have a lot of impact on pretty much everybody. Like I'm just thinking of like what happened to actually I don't want to say because I know there are some people here who aren't caught up. I feel like, actually, I already count it. Guts versus Sekiro? Oh, Guts. Fireheart for Zero seems kind of featless. Oh, no, he casually created a time reset. What are you talking about? I feel Beelzebub took over Neon's body as the deal. I don't want that. Like, the thing is, like, with Vonica, I didn't really have a whole lot of investment other than that she was cool. But, like, I like Dante's character. I'm glad Dante didn't become a skin suit. But it's like, if Beelzebub just takes over, then it's just going to further make the Dark Triad look like the mid-boss for the devils behind them. It's like playing Zelda. It's like, oh, cool, the boss of whatever dungeon you're in, but you always have that tiny little mid-boss that's just pretty much there of, oh, yeah, like, he's got, like, one skill of the main boss that you can kind of just learn here, and, you beat him half the time, and they're not really much of a challenge. It makes me sad because I did like Dante and Zenon I like too. So I'm hoping that he ends up having more value in the long term and not just, hey, Beelzebub is like, Beelzebub is pretty much talking through me kind of thing. Where else? Not Gray beats Mira, but stomped by. I don't think he gets stomped. The idea that he gets stomped by Urza is ridiculous. I don't think that at all. Anybody who can fight against Natsu is not going to get stomped by Urza. No. Figure out Zero for Celine. I'd still go Celine. Gray versus Mira isn't a fight. Like, it's not. Like, the thing is, like, there's so many factors against Mira Jane in that fight that it just doesn't go anywhere for her. There's nobody that can logically make a case for Mira Jane. The only part that, like, Mira Jane has is a comedic gag where Gray is scared of her. But that's like trying to say that Urza's above Natsu because Natsu's afraid of her when she gets mad. That's just because, like, Natsu and Gray grew up with these two being their scary older sisters. You and Nancy on good terms? Yeah. I don't have any beef with our Nancy. I just get grumpy when he slanders Gray. Let's see. Earth got mauled by Ozma, then one shot him. He wasn't one shot. Are you kidding? Go look at that fight. Like, he was damaged. The first time he used Terra Krimal, he was sweating and he was shaking. He was barely standing up. His problem was he pulled out a power that wasn't his, that was too strong for him against Urza twice. He barely managed to pull through the first time, and he lost control the second time. Like, one of the factors that Mishima has that it's both a double-edged sword, because I love it because people have to pay attention. And stuff like that, where you have to get context clues. When you look at, like, this dude, he used Terra Krimal, he's barely standing, he's aggressively panting, he's sweating, he's just scratched all up, shaking, and then he tries to use it again, he loses control, and he even brings up it should be under control, but it's not anymore, and then afterwards he says how he overuses magic, and there's a consequence of it. And then the obvious bad part is, like, people who don't pay attention just complain, and then they shit talk, and it drives me insane. It's kind of like I understand what Mishima does with stuff like Justice and Elsie
And like any character who's like a alternate take on a certain one he's already done, they don't get that. Like that's the point, is he's doing an alternate kind of like angle take on something. Like Elsie and Justice are pretty much Urza and Jalal reversed. They're mirrored, not only in position but also the outcome of their story. Instead of the two people, instead of it's like two people through tragedy, go in and out of love. It's like two people who were supposed to be, set for love are going in and out of tragedy and now want to kill each other. Whereas like Urza and Elsie, Urza and Jalal had the opportunity, but Urza didn't want to do it because she still loved him. Whereas Elsie and Justice had an opportunity and both tried to kill each other. Best girls split them apart. Wait, what? Gosh is better taste. No, he does not. Azuma was taking the power of the other Fairy Tail members and adding it to his own. No, he was taking the magic from the tree. The tree was applying magic to people in the guild. Their magic, though, was being sucked out because similar to, he just reversed it. So it's being drained out of him. He wasn't taking magic from the character specifically. He was taking magic from the tree. They were losing magic because of the tree as well. It's kind of like a weird idea when it's like, yeah, they are getting drained through the process, but their magic wasn't getting stacked on him. Because otherwise he'd have Gildarts' magic. And, Gildarts' magic power on Azuma, and, yeah, Urza wouldn't have been able to even last 2 seconds. He would have one-shot her, no problem. Of course, Mount Lady, she's your best acquaintance. She's just a nice... I like her design. I like that she wasn't just some one-off character at the start. I mean, obviously, her being thick is just an extra thing. I doubt Urza will be able to fight 50% Merc. No, I don't think so either. EOS Urza is not Spriggan tier, right? No, she is. She had bad matchups against the other Spriggan. She was definitely Spriggan level. I mean, otherwise, how was she gonna, even last against Irene, the second strongest of all the Spriggan? But I don't think that she is. I don't think she was as highly placed as Natsu and Grey were by the end of it. Yeah, Urza is definitely Spriggan tier. She was Spriggan tier even then. She just had a really bad set of matchups. Agiel just worked through most of her attacks. Nineheart was a ranged caster who wouldn't let her get close, and just CC'd her with minions. That's how casters or summoners work. And especially him when he was dropping spells from range on top of his regular summons. I'll just wait for the Dark Dragon Slayer Knights until they actually appear. I mean, I want to see them too, but Celine takes priority. Urza's Heike Spriggan tier. Yes. Toshiro versus Grey. Oh, Grey. What's up, Gene? How's it going, man? Here's the thing about Slayer fights, and especially Grey. Grey, because Slayers, not only do they have the resistance to their element, not only do they, attribute because of Dragon Eaters, not only do they have the ability to consume their attribute and gain power and stamina from it, but they also can adapt to variations of it. So, Grey's fight against Invul showed the extent Grey had. Grey essentially has shown a valid no limits fallacy. So, an attack like Invul's True Ice, where it voids durability, it means it doesn't matter how strong you are, defensive-wise. If you get hit by it, it's going to do damage, because it voids durability. Durability doesn't matter when it hits you. So, a character could, same speed. Just assume that a character with the same speed as Invul is attacking Grey with the same attack, but it's this attack, has the potency to destroy entire galaxies or whatever. And I'm not saying that Grey is galaxy level. I'm saying in terms of the concept, the power level doesn't matter. The thing that matters for Grey is Grey's ability to adapt to it. If he can adapt to it, then he can do it. If he's fast enough to pretty much just adapt his magic to whatever the ice it has in properties, he can take it and he can become immune to it. It's a really OP thing that Slayers have with their whole adaptability on top of their already unfair advantages against people of their own attribute. But Mishima gave Grey a way to pretty much say nope to any and all ice users, as long as he's fast enough to deal with it. The way that you get past that with Grey is be faster, and a way to really kind of just shut down his power whatsoever. Kind of like what Hakune did, what Hakune did. She pretty much did that the first time, but obviously Gray figured out how to deal with it the second time. It's really OP when you think about it. Because Gray pretty much, it doesn't really matter how powerful somebody is. If they're using ice and Gray is fast enough to deal with their attack, he can deal with it. Azuma and Ward, both the strong wood dudes. I mean, Ward and Azuma. Ward is not a fighter. Ward's a support character. And Azuma, though strong, there's no way he could fight Hashirama. Hashirama would clap him so quick. She used Ajo because of the fact that she couldn't touch him. Yeah, Urza had bad matchups. Urza had terrible matchups for her way of fighting and her magic during that arc. What's going on though, Gene? How are you doing? Why isn't he borrow the sticky Dragon Slayer? Oh, the clinging. He should come back. Clinging Dragon Slayer. You think George Lucas' ex-wife roasting Kathleen Kennedy Disney trilogy? Good. I hate the Disney trilogy. Like, they make me so annoyed. Like, they ruined Star Wars for me. Thoughts on Ian Zero Chapter 160? I got the review coming out soon. I'm going to upload it once the stream's over. I was planning pretty much to stream until the fan translations came out for the 100 Years Quest chapter. What are we at right now? Like, I was going to say 90 minutes. We're an hour in. So, probably a good chunk more. What's up, Guillotine? How you doing? Asta versus Shiki? Asta. Yeah, Shiki can't do with Asta yet. The thing that Shiki needs before he really can kind of contend with anybody like that is he needs a Hax. Like a Hax can really make or break a fight. Like, think of like Dante's level of reach without Singularity versus Singularity. Like, Singularity is like, oh shit, yeah, that guy hits you with that, you're probably fucked. Where it's like without it, he's got high damage and he can regenerate and stuff. He can teleport. But that can only get him so far, where something like Singularity is like, oh, wow, that's a busted attack you got there, guy. That's like, you know, Yamiya's Dimension Slash. It's something that's just going to say, nope, your durability, don't get hit by it, or GG. Urza can't be Ice Brigadier, maybe mid. I'd say she's definitely up there, considering she fought Laxus. It was weird to me that Zeref seemed like another fight, just to fight it the same as August, but it wasn't treated like the end game. It was coming until after. Yeah, I mean, that his fight started like well early on. Like, him and Natsu were battling for a while. Asa Swede was the Shiki. Yeah, Shiki just can't compete with him yet. Vonica and Dante are bums. No, they're pretty cool. Vonica definitely is somebody that Tabata did not seem to have any love for. Dante's is going to depend on what Tabata has planned for him overall. Like, does he have anything planned for him left? Or is, like, this where he ends? Because Vonica never seemed like she had this level of hype and value to the series that, like, Dante and Zenon seem to have. Rex looks like Georg is completely done for. I don't think he's... Well, the theory that he could regenerate will depend later on. Because there's, like... Think of it like this. Say he does have the ability to regenerate. He has the ability to get back up. He'll, you know, be reborn from his blood and ashes or something. There's no way he would do it while Selena's right there. There's absolutely no chance. If you did that while Selena's right there, good chance to get squashed again. If he was smart, he would be like, well, okay, and he'd wait until she leaves, wait until she's at least far enough away, get fixed up, and then leave. And, you know, maybe he'll go to the Fairy Tail Guild and say, hey, I need your fucking help. This bitch came and destroyed my guild. I know of you guys and how strong you are. Please help. I can see that happening. She went against Bloodman, who can't be touched. Damari was time stop. Brandish can make her small as an ant. Ajo can touch her with sand. I mean, some of those definitely. Like, Damari is just hard to deal with in general. Bloodman, she might be able to figure out ways to deal with Bloodman, but it's really going to depend on if she has a means to counteract his curses. I don't really think she can, but like that's more of a fight of just like unfair intangibility, whereas Brandish, I don't know if can she shrink Urza? Because like we know what Brandish, like the limitations of Brandish's abilities. She probably could. I don't think she could just one-shot her. I feel like that's something that like Urza could be able to resist to a degree, but who knows? Current Urza definitely dominates. Like, current Urza completely crushes Brandish. Like, Brandish can't beat current Urza. There's no chance on that. Well, I read this one. Shiki lacks feats. It's not that he lacks feats. It's that Asta just has better feats right now. Jesse needs to chill. Yeah, dude, he's enraged. I don't know why he's so mad. Ten Tails versus 5 Dragon Gods. How does it go? The Dragon Gods clap so bad. You have a guy, you have a tree that will just absorb chakra from the world versus 5 absurdly busted Dragon Gods. And like Celine can just say, nope, send you to another dimension. See ya. Or he's have Ignia just set it on fire. Asta Shiki. I already talked about this. Wait, Asta can't do anything to Luffy, and now Luffy ignores durability. Luffy has... It's not... Well, internal damage... Internal damage is like one of those things where it's like a degree of durability voiding, but it's not the same as something like spatial hacks or something like that. It's kind of like how you have full intangibility and you have elemental intangibility. One is a sort of, and one is yes. Like someone like someone like Natsu could take the damage from Luffy's internal attacks, whereas it's not going to one shot. Whereas like if you had somebody who's got like some absurd one shot, like something that specifically says it doesn't matter how your stats are, you get one shot by this if it hits you. You're like Zeref's curse, is the Longstrom curse. Obviously, I'm not counting Natsu's scarf, but like somebody gets just hit by that, done. It's not the same thing. It's like a different kind of axe entirely. I want to see Alistair's power as a lot of drink. Yeah, I want to see it too. No one Alvarez Empire took the war serious. Not even Zeref. He saw it as a game. I mean, Irene was trying to take it seriously. She's all about like, please stop fucking around. Like if you mess around too much, you're not ever gonna defeat Actologia. Jesse's my hero. He killed that creep. Oh man, that's unfortunate. When he's Pop versus Popeye the food, and they can put down the 10 tails. Yeah, they can. Let's burn it. 10 tails isn't that impressive. It's literally just shoots big energy beams. I mean, Brandish doesn't act like she's so much better than everyone. Not Fairy Tail and Under Tears Quest. When during Alvarez, she's way more powerful than most of them. I mean, yeah, most of them, but not anymore. I don't even think I don't even think Brandish is above current Lucy, to be perfectly honest. Lucy actually had some really good upgrades and feats in Elentier. Out of everybody in the main cast, she had the best showings in Elentier, period. Obviously, I'm talking about this like raw power levels. Like she got a lot actually upgrades in powers, but like her just general fighting capabilities and her combo move setup was improved, and the baseline aspects of her magic. I want to get to where we can see like what they retained from Elentier magic wise. Like, can Lucy still? Like, I don't expect Lucy to be able just to summon all of her keys at once, but I'm hoping she can still do it without having contact with her keys. Like, she doesn't need to have the keys directly on her. But maybe it's like having the keys on her takes a little bit less magic. Like, say, like, if you had a game, it'd be like, summon spirit with key, 5, points of magic, whereas, like, summon without key is 10. Something like that is kind of what I'm hoping. I mean, I'm perfectly fine if she, like, just muscle memory, she remembers it, can do it again. Do you think the lack of deaths on the good guys in Black Clover series so far? I've talked a little bit about my take on, like, deaths in series. I mean, like, when characters are easily killable, it does add a level of tension of, like, you don't know when somebody's going to get killed off. But when characters get killed off and there's not a lot of weight or build up to them, I don't really care. Because I'm in it more for the emotional investment, and I'm fine with like not having a lot of not main cast, but like a lot of protagonist deaths, as long as like when a protagonist dies, it's a big deal. Like there's like a lot of impact and weight around it. That's what I care more about. Because if it shows my investment, it makes me feel more attached to the series, more like I got more stakes into what's going on, rather than just like a character dies and I'm like, okay, cool, okay, where's the next fight? What's the next scene? How's like where is the next guy gonna show up to fight whoever this dude who killed this other guy to get revenge and whatnot? It's not the same to me. I thought of something. Is Zenon planetary since he moved the forest? No, Forestra isn't the size of Earth. It's like small island sized. It's like I think it's like 7 miles wide. Yes, Sung Jinwoo. I don't know anything about Sung Jinwoo, man. I like to see Asta and versus and Noelle versus the 3 Double Kings. They wanted to work together. I don't think they're gonna work together. It would be cool though. Xenolith fees calc at large planet because of gravity moving to oceans and space and forest. Forestra isn't a large planet. Who scaled that? And that's one of the things like I'm not a fan of when it comes to like feats and stuff. It's like you have stuff like I can guarantee you whoever did that just assumed Forrester was the size of Earth. I can bet on it. They just use Earth size for it and said, well, it's the size of a planet, so you know he's moving and everything. It's like no, you can literally compare the satellite next to Forrester. It's not Earth sized. It's small. Most of the planets in Eden Zero have shown to be small. They vary in size. The only planet we've seen that's like, yeah, I can see that being Earth size is Blue Garden. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Gravity Dragon. Creed is not dead, he says. I mean, if Creed's not dead, I wonder what Mishima like has planned for his character. Because like the twist this chapter was already really weird, with like him being like some important guy from Omora's home planet. But it's like, well, what exactly is the what's the goal of that reveal? But like, what's the goal of like if he's still alive? Like that kind of plot drop. I like how the villain trio, Dabi, Toga, and Tamora. There's no big ship or children for Toga or Next Gen. People ship Toga with Miracle. Dabi is shipped with. Oh, I don't know. The whole ship group there is a little strange in general. It'd be funny if Gravity Dragon Slayer appeared in Diablos. I don't really know, like, if he had a Gravity Dragon Slayer, like, what's he gonna do? Like, Natsu's already fought and defeated somebody with Gravity who's already physically strong. So it's like, I don't really know what a Gravity Dragon would accomplish that, like, Blue Note already didn't accomplish. I still want a Radiation Dragon. I want Godzilla. I want a Godzilla Dragon Slayer. I need Mishima to do that for me. I would much appreciate it. We'll have to see. I'll have to wait and talk to Mishima. I'll send him a letter. Sir, please. Gravity, please. Put him on a dragon. I require it. Let me find out this one. What if they would bring the R system back? That'd take a lot of magic to do, but like, who would they bring back to life? Like Kornugi? Name an awesome Mana Zone attack Fairy Tail character to use. Who would be really cool to have a Mana Zone in Fairy Tail? Actually, you know what would be really cool is Levi. I'd like to see a solid script Mana Zone where she has all these letters flying around her, and she's just grabbing words and letters and throwing them or like kind of orchestrating them. That'd actually be really cool if she just she's surrounded by words, and it'd be so weird to look at. Be like, what's with all this shit? And she just throws like sentences of stuff at you. Oh, that actually would visually look really cool. Because that's one of the things I always liked about Sayla is when Sayla opens like her extra eye and she had all those all the lettering in her magic and energy or curse power and stuff, and just it just looks so neat. And I was like, Mishima has occasionally done that where he'll make just a power look really cool, and it's unfortunately never either reused on a character, revitalized in a way that actually benefits my want to see it again. Serpentera has a huge drawback, power issues. Yeah, but I mean, that's why he was going after the Xeno crystals and stuff. Honestly, feeling toward Tanjiro either. Yeah, I just don't care about Tanjiro. There's nothing about him that really kind of I don't care what no one says. Mardgear is stronger than Larcade. I mean, that's not true though. If Mardgear was stronger than Larcade, then Zeref would have just taken him. Anything he's gonna do next? Well, I should actually go after Eleusaria from the chapter show. Do you think most powerful wizard magic based manga? The most powerful? Isn't it that like Tenyo Kenichi or whatever it's called? Ziggy's way stronger than Xenolith. Xenolith said so himself. Ziggy said no one's as strong and doesn't need to get out of a fight unscathed. Yeah, but like that was like Ziggy less upgraded and less powerful. It said that cared for Kano and Zenitsu in the anime than Nezuko and Tanjiro. No, I feel like that's understandable. Ziggy Justice and Elsie all scale above Xenolith. They should actually know, because like the thing is, Xenolith held down Justice and Elsie. Like he just grabbed both of them. The thing is, like, he seems more limited in what he can do than what they have at their disposal. Like, I think that he has more powerful attacks and capabilities, but he just has, like if you looked at it, it'd be like a much smaller HP bar, way smaller MP bar. Like if you were looking at like a game stats, he would just have so much less to really work with, where he's just like a glass cannon. LC and on Ziggy and Xenolith level, no. I mean, not like Xenolith, or not on like full scale for either of them, but like the Ziggy that we saw, yeah, the much weaker kind of like unupgraded, unfixed Ziggy, yeah. Didn't Tanjiro kill Upper Moon #1? No. Selene Dragon's Eyes is so weirdly cool. Yeah, I mean, she's a nine-tailed fox dragon. What dragon at full power, what dragon would full power let from Rave beat in Fairy Tail? I mean, he could beat some of the regular dragons. I don't think he would beat any, like, king, queen level dragon, anyone, like, really OP or something, because Let's, like, full dragon form was just a big dragon. It didn't have anything kind of OP about it. It didn't have anything that crazy. It was just a big dragon. And didn't even seem that powerful in comparison to, like, when you got to, like, end of series people. Because, like, what's the guy's name they fought? Was Ashura? No, Ashura was the short dude. What was that guy's name that he fought? I had trouble with this guy's name so once because it's like Megiddo, I remember. Ashura, I remember. Jericho, or whatever her name is exactly pronounced, I remember. But I always forget that sword dude's name, which is funny because he has that massive fucking sword, but he has like the least interesting design, and even his power-up form isn't that cool. But he had a really cool fight because I love Let's character. But yeah, Let wouldn't last that long against a lot of the big dragons. Not at me, not at me. Let's see. Acnolia comes back and slaps the shit out of Igni in the end, becomes a wuss. I doubt that. Levi could use rune magic and mana method easily. She would be insane. Like, you put Levi in Black Clover, she would learn things like Mana Zone and runes, like Mana Method, True Magic. She would learn all those things super quick. She's extremely intelligent. And on top of that, she's got, like, her wind reading glasses. Like, Levi would learn every single method, like within, like, the first couple days. No problem. Like, Levi is strong. Like, she has, like, actually decently capable magic and abilities and stuff. But it's the fact that she's really smart that would help her. And stuff like those extra levels of, those extra, like, kind of, like, variants in your magic, it's not the same as, like, learning a fully new magic. It's really just learning a bonus trick you can put on your magic. Think of it like it's kind of like the difference between building a full new computer and just getting a part for, like, your current computer to make it better. Wait, what was that one I saw about Margear? Don't care how cool Margear is. He's not surreal. He's not. I could see an argument that could put Margear low Spriggan based on some feats and hacks, but, like, that's being generous, and that's from me, who is a Margear fanboy since his introduction. I've been a huge fan of Margear. He's one of my favorite characters in the whole series, and one of my favorite characters Mishima's ever made. But I know where he sits power level-wise. All Spriggans were stated by Mishima to be stronger than all previous villains. Yes. They did 10-30. Yes, they did. Imagine Ziggy using his gravity to reflect an attack back his opponent. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I would rather him just move. Like, why? Like, throwing somebody's attack back at them at a lot of the time doesn't do a whole lot. Sting was the ultimate counter to Arcade, though. Yeah, Sting had just a better, like, power advantages can play a huge role in fights. Sting got stronger from Tartarus to Alvarez. Yes, Sting was immune to Arcade. Yeah, pretty much. He was immune to most of his general hacks. Acnology versus the anti-spiral. What's Acnology gonna do? The thing is, like, the anti-spiral could just literally just step on him. And he's not magic, so what's Acnology gonna eat? It would be interesting to see Georg regenerate somehow after being squashed, thanks to either the abilities of 4-beast dragon slaying magic or other dragon slaying magic that he ate in the past. I would like that, though. Like, the thing about Georg coming back is I pretty much would be fine either way, because either I get Georg back and I get to actually see what he's capable of. I like his design. I like his general kind of character and demeanor. He just seems like this powerful asshole of a dude. Whereas, like, if he stays dead, that's just more hype to Selene. More hype to Selene makes me happy. Which is better, ether coating or armament hockey? Ether coating. Armament hockey is like, Arma Hockey is like the most D tier additional power because like outside of the whole internal damage thing, Oda hasn't really made it seem special. Everybody that's ever used full body armament hockey gets clapped immediately. Gets immediately ran through. You got like Pika, Virgo, and I forgot there was a third guy. I can't remember. I think a movie guy. And whenever somebody goes full body armament hockey, they get clapped. They get immediately defeated. Imagine Natsu with ultimate magic, but I doubt he needs it. I mean, he's got Dragon Force. He doesn't really need it. Spriggan are just way above Margear and power. I wouldn't say let alone hacks, because like Memento Mori is like one of the most busted hacks like, in the series. Like it's so absurd to think about like the idea of like how you would get out of that ability if it ever ran. 1 second. Alright, what combat was I at? Yeah, obviously, base Acnology is way weaker than space between time Acnology. That's not even something to debate. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Lorcade can use curse power or magic. I mean, they stated he was using magic. Like, demons can use curses and magic. Like, we knew that Kyoko was using magic as well. Whereas, like, Gray's Devil Slaying is both magic and a curse. Lorcade lost because it was Sting. He fought Lorcade Pleasure. Sting eats it. Well, he's using light magic and stuff. Like his general pleasure, hunger, and sleep things. Sting couldn't like deal with those directly, but he had ways of working around them to a degree. Like he was eating his like light attacks and stuff. So he's doing Time Acnologia still loses what can he even do? Space between Time Acnologia against what, the anti-spiral? The name of Space Between Time Acnologia, Space Between Time Acnologia was like a threat to reality. Because like it's so OP when you really think what he's capable of. We just didn't see it in full. Because like Zeref needed infinite magic just to manipulate the space between time. Acnologia ate it. Like the anti-spiral's busted, but like even thinking about the anti-spiral's bustedness, he has to. It's not like he starts out set level. And I honestly feel like since Acnologia ate the space between time, he could eat the anti-spiral. It's like a weird concept, but it's like Acnologia actually ate a concept, so I don't really know how that would go. I would need to see like Acnologia's, like if Mishima mentioned something, like if he could eat Endless, I genuinely think he could eat Endless, but if like Mishima said that he could eat Endless and Chronophage, I do think he can. But if Mishima, like, outright said he could, I think that'd just be like, yeah, done. Is Natsu universal? Natsu has a hacks that can deal with people like that, but I wouldn't say he himself is universal. He just has a really busted hacks that can deal with absurd levels of power and capabilities. Because really, when you think about, like, the Savage Dragonfire, unless you have certain resistances to that, like, it's gonna defeat you. Jacob, maybe Agile. Yeah, no, Agile feats are above Mard feats. I mean, for the most part of it, but like, what does Agile really do against Memento Mori? I mean, Agile should be faster and have a higher level of damage, but like Margear has a level of hacks that if he gets caught, that's GG. Yeah, I wouldn't say Natsu is universal. I'd say it's kind of like how you have someone like Julius or you have Dante, where they aren't at that level, but because of their magics and the hacks that like are behind it in the description of how it works and feats and stuff, it could kill characters that capability because those don't have anything to do with stats. When you think of Goku, think of like Goku's capabilities, how powerful Goku is, but you put Goku in like against Julius. If Julius lands that time acceleration, Goku becomes dust. It's not a power level thing. It's a broken ability kind of thing. Because that's the whole thing about hacks, is hacks can just say, yeah, I don't really care about the stat gap. Is like you get the hacks off, you get the hacks off. You can have a guy again like Goku. He gets hit by a guy who's maybe like say you gotta take a character who is for the most part like human stats, but he has the ability to fully erase atoms from existence. He's got the Hakai power pretty much. And he just does that to Goku. Says nope, nope's him out of existence. It's just gone. Barrymore looks impressed with the anime. It's a shame it costs. Yeah, that was sad. August had a good showing. Irene and Arcade could have done better. Irene is doing more. What do you mean? Like she's still doing work. I just rewatched Earth vs. Zuma, and I guess most the fight choreography was amazing. The soundtrack though was amazing too. Seeing eat Satoru's Late from Yu-Gi Jax. Yeah, you should be fine with it. Joe confirmed stronger than Margear and himself. Yeah, he's stronger in like stats. But like Margear has freaking Memento Mori. Memento Mori again is just so good as a broken ability. Like, what are you really gonna do? Eknally got knocked down by Urza Swords. I mean, it's more of like they hit him in the back, and he got snuck attack. But like, space between time Acnologia, like if he can eat concepts and things that are beyond comprehension, then like I genuinely think that he could. I'm not saying for sure, but he could eat the anti-spiral, just in like what Acnologia's limitations of eating has shown. It's literally says, yeah, nope, the concepts like the universe and erasure, stuff like temporal acts, nope, none of that. But anyway, I'm gonna call it good. This is a good stream. The chapter I think should be out soon, I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I really want to read it and see exactly all the general information that we're gonna get from it, and then I will set my Eden Zero review to be uploading soon. And hopefully we can have another good Mishima week. Mishima fans are always eating. We are never starving. We're like one of these guys who their mangaka goes on sudden break for 6 weeks or whatever, or they got a 10-page chapter. Mishima fans are always eating. There's never a time where we're hungry. We're always getting something. Mishima is always ready to make sure that his people are fed. But anyway, other than that though, you guys have a good rest of your day. I will plan a Saturday or a Friday stream, probably additional. I'll probably do a bonus stream since I didn't stream last week. We'll probably play a game. Maybe I'll whip out like Half-Life Opposing Force rather, because that one I could beat in like 7 hours. I could literally just get off work that day, come home, and play it no problem. Like with Black Mesa, it's a little bit longer. It'll take me probably like 14 to 15 hours to beat that one next time I play through, but like I can beat opposing force in like 5, 6, 7 hours, no problem. How much amp is Wendy's Deuce Ekis? It should be double. The whole double in it, like a double speed, double attack. But anyway, yeah, you guys have a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week. I will hopefully have a stream set up on Friday, and we will